Boy, I'm glad we don't have that to contend with, right? Like all that snow.
Yeah, we have just about everything else.
Not right now, yeah.
But there are some areas just south of us that will have that, right?
Really unique setup. It's not often snow forms over Long Island Sound like it would off Lake Erie or Lake Ontario. Sure. But it's just that this air mass is so cold and the way the wind direction may set up, there will be these narrow bands of snow just offshore. We'll have to see if they make it on the southeast shore. Want to bring you back to 4:30 this morning. It was 58 degrees in Hartford. This was when the wind was howling. We reached 70 degrees, or I should say 60 degrees at 7:30 this morning in the capital city. And then things started to change this afternoon, and it really was this evening. Very quickly, we saw the temperatures drop, and now we're down in the single digits. With some of that wind this morning, this fell on the car there in Windsor. Fortunately, no one in the car when that happened. And there also was some freshwater flooding. This was from one of the rivers in New Hartford, actually, to close the road there. They got about 2 inches of rain in New Hartford out of this storm. So the bitter cold has arrived. Fortunately, we avoided a flash freeze, meaning there wasn't a dramatic freeze up of all the roadways. A lot of the moisture was able to evaporate because of the wind and dry air moving in. But there are some patches of black ice in spots. Any standing water has frozen up. The wind chills are dropping below zero. And we'll keep an eye on some of those snow showers out in Long Island Sound. Here is the storm swirling tonight. The cold front now moving into Maine and Atlantic Canada, and behind it we are firmly in the cold air. But notice these bands of snow forming south of New England, and there's one coming right off the Sound. These will follow the wind direction basically, and if it veers just enough, there could be a little light snow that makes it into Groton, New London, and perhaps the far southeast shoreline. Looks like Fisher's Island already starting to get into a little bit of snow there. Here are some of the local temperatures. We're down to 12 in Avon, 10 in Farmington, 8 in Wolcott and Southington, but 13 in Newington, 14 in Meriden, 16 New Haven, but 11 right now in East Haven. Eastern Connecticut, mid-teens. Western Connecticut, right around 10 or even a little bit lower than that in some spots. We still have some wind gusting to 37 miles per hour in Groton. That's making it feel like 2 degrees there, but the wind chill in New Milford already down to 11 below zero. So by tomorrow morning, these are where the actual air temperatures end up, single digits to around 10 in most spots. But when you factor in the wind, even during the warmest part of the day tomorrow, the temperature will get to around 20, but it only feels about 5. With that gusty wind coming in 10 to 20 miles per hour and gusting at times tomorrow up to about 35 miles per hour. So here's a look at the futurecast here. As we go through the night, there's that one band of snow that will hang just offshore. There really won't be anything at all, just away from the shoreline. But right on the immediate shore, New London, Groton over to Stonington and Mystic, we may get brushed with this brief snow shower overnight into part of the day tomorrow. Here's one of our computer models. Notice most places get nothing, but perhaps that sound effect brings a coating to some of our shoreline towns overnight into the day tomorrow. Pretty unique because that's not something we see much at all around here. For Christmas Day, we'll have lots of sunshine. It will be cold, but not quite as bitter as tomorrow, starting around 15. Temperatures getting back up into the mid and upper 20s, but wind chills Christmas Day afternoon will still be in the teens. This storm will start to pull away, which means the wind eases up as we get into Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and Monday. Monday looks like a typical midwinter day with sunshine, high temperatures around freezing. And once we move this high offshore, we'll actually have a warm-up middle to end of next week. But we have to wait a while before we get there. So tomorrow, high temperatures only in the teens to around 20. Christmas Day, a little bit milder, but still cold. Will be in the upper 20s. Around 32 or so on Monday. A few flurries possible on Tuesday, and then we may get into the 50s as we head into New Year's weekend. Much more coming up at 11. We'll see you then.